Microsoft says it has lost the console wars. What a crying shame considering we own 2 Xboxes. Because we're diving into the wild world of console wars and where giants battle for dominance, can you guess who waved the white flag? Yep, Microsoft. They declared that they lost the console wars. Let's dissect what's happening here. I think that they said they lost the console wars because they want to buy a certain publisher and they want their life to be easy, shall we say. Microsoft has declared in a court filing that has lost the console wars amidst a legal battle with the US antitrust agency, the Federal Trade Commission. So they've got it. They're being blocked by the UK and they're being blocked by the FTC. They've turned around and said, "Look, if we get blocked by the UK, then we just won't sell in the UK." But being blocked by the FTC means that they'll just stop. My big problem, and I've stated this many times, is Activision Blizzard is not worth $69 billion. Considering that you bought Bethesda for I think it's like 4 or 14. And they've got many more IPs and things that have more appeal to more people and more diverse kind of bits there. In the filings, Microsoft stated the Xbox console consistently ranks third behind the PlayStation, Nintendo, with a 16% market share and a 60% market share and a 21% of console, 21% share of console revenue. Meaning that they're behind Nintendo Switch. I think I've kind of deemed Nintendo Switch to be in the lead, followed by PS5, followed by Xbox. Even though I own 2 Xboxes, I don't know how you can claim that. They have. I think Games Pass has shot themselves in the foot with this. They've attempted to portray themselves as the underdog, the massive multi-billion, almost trillion-dollar corporation, so they can buy thingy. It's the thing is, this is what's going to happen. Microsoft, it will go through. They'll drag their heels. It'll probably finish April next year. Yeah, it will go through, and then all the people that have had problems with Activision, knowing that Sony have got knowing that Microsoft have got money, will be suing. I was sexually assaulted. I was sexually discriminated against. I was discriminated against. This person was rude to me. I hate Bobby Kotick's face. Yeah, I had to endure his face for the last God knows how long. Yeah, all those people will come crawling out the woodworks, and it's going to cost them, and it's going to screw up development, this, that, and the other. And then there's it's on Games Pass. We don't have to bother because we don't have to worry about making profit anymore. We can just concentrate on making a game, and we can take our time and don't worry about the X, Y, and Z. Then they've got that, and then there's the money that they lose because the PS5 is the big console, which most of the people will be playing Call of Duty on, and so forth and so on. As I said, I think buying them's fine. People are going to come out of the woodworks and try and get as much money out of them when the transfer happens. And then the other part of it too is that the quality from Games Pass, because we've seen it. Redfall, what we were talking about earlier on the podcast, is an example that came from Bethesda. No one from Microsoft stepped in and went, "Hang on a second, guys, this is shit." That's what they should have gone. This is shit. It's not that good. But then again, there's a game called State of Decay, which I think is a garbage game, an absolute garbage game. And they promote the hell out of that. It's not even gameplay wise, it's crap. Graphic wise, it's crap. Everything wise, it's crap. And it's one of those games that people go, "Oh, we should play State of Decay." No, because I think it's crap. That's my opinion. If you like it, more power to you. Get your enjoyment where you get your enjoyment. So,
don't you think Microsoft have already got a plan though? Because obviously Starfield is their biggest game in years.
do you want to hear something? Do you want to hear something funny that I found out today? Do you know why Microsoft bought Bethesda?
Well, I was just gonna go on.
Right, they bought Bethesda primarily because Sony were planning on buying, because they didn't buy Bethesda, they bought ZeniMax because Sony were saying, right, we want Starfield to be a PlayStation exclusive. We're going to hand over a big chunk of cash.
Yeah.
And they were like, "Oh, we can't have that." So we bought the parent company instead. And I've seen some real dumb arguments and some real fucking galaxy brain takes on this. Yeah. Now, buying a company, means that you own that game in perpetuity. Yep, it's yours. So when Sony buys a game studio, it means that they own those games in studio. Those games. If you go to a third party and say we want exclusivity, which has been done since the dawn of video games, that's fine because it'll be there. And then when the second one rolls around, so like Titanfall did for EA, it will come out on both consoles. And the exclusivity for the first Titanfall was fine on the Xbox, and they've done that. And now they're bitching and moaning because it's like kind of, well, we can't buy our way to success because they're not building up studios. So Nintendo, have their own studios, they have their own developers, they have their own vision, and they do a fantastic job. They do the best job on their exclusives. There's no two ways about that. Yeah. Then you got Sony, who do a almost similar thing, but they kind of have a movie studio mentality behind what they're doing. Yeah, so they see it like movie, they're then running movie studios, which is fine. Do that. We'll sort out the hardware, this, that, and the other, and you guys do the creative things, and we'll support you. And then if the studio is good enough, we'll buy the studio. Yeah, so we'll get a little indie studio, we'll invest in them, see how well they do, and then if it works out fine, we'll buy it, and you'll become part of us. Housemarque is an example. But what they don't do is Sony doesn't buy Warner Brothers as a movie studio. Yeah, and then someone goes, well, they're all our films now and all our stuff. And I think I get what Microsoft are trying to do. I think it's the wrong strategy. I think that they're going to get what's referred to as sunk cost fallacy. They'll just keep plowing money into what they're doing at the moment, and they'll keep losing because Games Pass is great for them because they have a nice steady flow of income. No two ways about that. But there are no games that attract people to the Xbox. I'm trying to think. Starfield, and then where's my Gears of War game?
But that's it, though, isn't it? That's their plan. They're just using Starfield because it's exclusive, and they're probably almost hoping, well, people are going to ditch their PS5, buy an Xbox so they can play Starfield. They've already announced the brand new S version in black with your 1 terabyte drive, so that's been updated, definitely for Starfield. So I think they're just using that one game now as a tactic to try and win back some of the sales. But it's a bold move if that is what they're trying to do.
It's expensive too. And it's like the reason they just want Call of Duty from Activision. That's all they want. They're not into they want Call of Duty because if they say Call of Duty is exclusive on Xbox, they think that'll drive people towards it. But the problem is at the moment, Call of Duty's dying. There's a big backlash. It at the
wrong time, haven't they? Bought it at the wrong time.
There's a massive backlash at the moment because a guy called Nick Merckx made the comment of saying, "Leave the kids alone." Yeah, as far as I'm concerned, he quoted Pink Floyd from the album The Wall. Okay, leave the kids alone and then they tried to say he was anti this and anti that and all this other nonsense, and because of that, everyone's turned around. All the big streamers have turned around and go, we are not playing Call of Duty because one, the game is crap. They've already said the game is crap, and we've got an excuse not to play it anymore, so we're not playing it anymore, and everyone has now gone off.
If it was me and I was doing a Call of Duty game, I would, to bring the fans back, I would just do a remake of number 2 because it's all about remakes at the moment. Do a remake of Call of Duty 2, World War 2, you'll get your fans back.